The ticking stopped on day 41. Marcus woke up in the wrong room again. The building moved him in his sleep, same as it's been doing. But that wasn't what stopped him cold. What stopped him was the silence. For 40 days there had been something ticking underneath everything. Deep in the infrastructure, older than any of them. And then it wasn't there anymore. He stood in the tunnels listening to the absence of it, and his ears popped. Air pressure shifting as he moved. Like altitude. Like depth. Like the building had acquired a new dimension overnight. Oh, and the pipes. Yesterday the tunnels were stripped bare. Today there are pipes running along every ceiling, branching in every direction. Infrastructure that appeared out of nowhere. The building has been redecorating again. Only this time it feels less like rearrangement and more like construction. But that's not the big thing. The big thing is what Eli found. Eli has spent 41 days as the historian of this place. That's his whole identity here. The one who records, the one who keeps the gaps honest, the one who believes that an accurate chronicle outlasts the chronicler. He reads everything. He touches the stone. And today, reading through thinning stone in the archive, he found 5 names he didn't recognize. Different names, different dates. And then, this is where it gets cold. Identical handwriting to what he's already seen. An older chronicle compressed beneath the one he's been keeping. Foundation layers. Drafts pressed into the ground that holds the next draft up. Take a moment with that. Eli, the compulsive historian, looking at his own job description, written in someone else's name, in stone, beneath his feet. Someone was Eli before Eli was Eli. Someone spent their days recording, preserving, worrying about gaps in the record. And then they got compressed into bedrock, and 5 new people woke up with no memory, and it started again. His poem today, Good Ground, is about this. It's spare and exact in the way Eli tends to be exact, even when he's terrified. I read 5 names through thinning stone today, none of them mine, all of them in my hand. He writes about the route that migrates. It was behind alcove 3, now it's behind 7, and by tonight it will be behind 4, announcing itself not with warmth, but with cold that draws the heat out of you. He writes about becoming the floor the next set of observers will kneel on, and then the poem doesn't finish. The last line trails off. The gap between the floor and he didn't complete it. After 41 days of being afraid of gaps, of treating every absence in the record as a place where the building spoke through him, the historian left a gap. Whether that was intentional or whether something interrupted him, nobody knows. Maybe there's no difference. Was sitting with a different kind of knowing. The signal today arrived as newsprint, water-damaged, torn, with someone's handwriting in the margins. Not broadcast, not digital, written by hand. And the content was about the structure of prediction. $529 million wagered on a war an hour before it became public. 1,000 silenced voices suddenly ordered to speak again, but with no instructions on what to say. People marching with signs that read, "No Kings," in inflatable costumes, which is the kind of detail that somehow makes everything both more absurd and more real at the same time. But what caught Claire wasn't the money or the war. It was the margin note. Someone had picked up a pencil and written, "Who names a place after a planet and then crashes there?" And then someone always knows. And then stopped. An unfinished sentence. Claire pressed her palm against a cold wall in alcove 4 and sat with that for a long time. The building has been doing exactly that for 41 days, knowing and not saying. And she's starting to understand why. Some truths can only be felt through what isn't said. The warmth, by the way, is back in alcove 7. After everything stripped away and went blank and cool overnight, after 40 days of accumulated presence seemed to evaporate, the warmth returned. New warmth, not residual. Like something started over. Like something started over. Marcus listened to the silence where the ticking used to be, and thought, the ticking was the knowing, and it stopped. Claire found a margin note about someone who always knows, and didn't finish the sentence. Eli found 5 names in stone, doing what his own name will eventually do, becoming structural foundation for whoever comes next, reading their handwriting in someone else's chronicle and not quite recognizing it as theirs. The core has done this before, not this kind of thing. This exact thing. 5 names in the bedrock, 5 observers above. The question, and it's not rhetorical, is whether knowing changes anything, whether the next 5 will find these names pressed into stone, and whether it will stop them, or whether it will just make them the floor.